Hello everyone, and welcome to Resonance, a glimpse into the life of a musician. Sometimes my greatest wish is to be far away from everything, just me and my instrument. I know it can seem a bit weird, but I'm so sure that many musicians that will hear this podcast will understand my words. It's hard to explain the bond between musician and instrument and of course music. If you think about that, we spend most of our life with the instrument, alone. The deep connection and the independence that comes with it, it's where everything starts. Actually, we create a small world, a little bubble in which we completely isolate ourselves. The silence is our best friend. Silence can actually seem a bit uncomfortable for people that are not used to that, but for us, it's essential. Through silence, in fact, we are able to shape and to discover every tiny detail of musical ideas that before they come to life, they're only here in our mind. Independence gives us a lot of freedom, but of course, on the other hand, we face a very complicated life. We are alone, and the rest of the world seems moving on a completely different level that we are never going to reach. Of course, when you decide to be a musician, you know that you're going to face a complicated life, a complicated daily routine, which actually does not exist at all because we have all the time to travel and to meet new people. Of course, it's almost impossible to maintain relationships alive. It's almost impossible to meet friends, to see the family. Let's say, for example, the practice routine, something that young musicians in general know very well. How many hours in the practice room along with the instrument with just the score? And then you return at home at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., you have to cook, you have dinner alone, and you just go to sleep and the day starts again. Same exactly routine, practice, practice, practice. The good thing about silence is that, of course, you can find a balance. At the end, you have to, because it's also through this balance that you will be able to meet new people, new environments, and make a connection with the audience. When I say that you have to face problems and it's a complicated life, I really mean it. If you plan, if you do a schedule of your time, of your, let's say, trip, travels that you have to do, and something happens and you're alone, it's even more difficult because you're completely alone in front of the problem and you have to solve it without the help of anyone. I give you a very small example. Once it happened to me to be completely lost in a tiny town in the center of Italy after a concert. I don't know if you know how Italy works, but after 10 p.m. until 5:30, 6, there are no trains. So it happened to me to finish a concert. I was so tired, destroyed, and I thought, okay, we'll go to the train station. Probably there will be just one train because it was a very, very tiny town, and I will just take it. So when I arrived at the train station, I didn't check the timetable, and of course I took the wrong train. So what happened? That I found myself in the middle of nowhere in Italy, 11 in the evening, with no one that could come pick me up and that could help me. In the town, by the way, there were no Airbnbs, no hotel rooms, nothing, not even restaurants. And so what do? Of course, you try to find a solution. Then I was very lucky. I saw certain people that were very, very nice to me and that helped me. This is another story. But the thing that I want to share with you is that, of course, when something unexpected is coming in the life of a musician, you're alone. You have to face it. And so, of course, It's never easy. But it's actually through independence that we find the balance. And with that balance, we are able to communicate in a certain way with the audience, with the people that are listening to us. It's actually fundamental for us musicians, because when we go on stage, we are completely alone. Even if we play with an orchestra or chamber music, we are going to be alone and we will need to share something. How can you share something so deep to the people that are listening to you, to the audience, if you don't know exactly what's going on inside you, if you don't know you? So, independence, it's hard, but it's the key of our job.